Okay guys, welcome to Miss Krumholtz's art class. Today we are going to be talking about Zentangles. Zentangles are really just creating lines, patterns, shapes. It's kind of like a free creative type of drawing. It's actually really good for hand-eye coordination, but mostly I find that it's just really fun. And it's a way of kind of having a creative outlet. If you're one of those students that doodle or sketch in your binders for other classes, or you just like to create design work and patterns, you'll love this next assignment. So what I wanted you to do with a regular pencil is we're going to create at least 6 Zentangles. So if you want to do 8 or 7, great. If you want to stick with 6, that's fine. We're going to create kind of these little mini Zentangle sketches that we're going to be using the following week in sort of a bigger exercise. So I have some samples that I printed here. You can use my samples that I'm going to provide to you. You can look up samples online. You can make up your own. But really I'm looking for at least 6. You do need a ruler for this assignment. If you don't have a ruler, try to find one. You can always use the side of a book or something with a straight edge. I'm going to ask that you use white paper, no lined paper or graph paper. It could be sketchbook paper. I am using my Canson 11 by 14, which is quite large. You don't need to work this big. You can work in an 8.5 by 11 or a 9 by 12. You could also use computer paper, whatever you have at home. So what we're going to do first is we're going to create a 4 by 6 inch large box. So I'm going to hold my ruler and I'm going to go down to the 4. And I'm going to then go across to my 6. And then I'm going to go down 4. And I'm going to go across 6. Okay. So this is the frame for my Zentangles. But what I want to do, so even though this is 4 inches and this is 6 inches, I want to, at my 2 inch and my 4 inch, create a little mark at the bottom. And I'm going to go up and do the same thing up here. 2 inch, 4 inch. And I do that so that I can make sort of, hopefully, straight lines. Okay, so now I have 3 boxes. And then I'm going to go to my 4 inches and I'm going to make a line at 2 inches and 2 inches, and I'm going to connect those. So hopefully you will end up with 2 by 2 inch squares. You'll end up with 6 of them. So again, I went to 4 inches, and at the 2 inch mark I made a line here, and I did one here. And where I did my 6 inches, I did a line at 2 inches and 2 inches here. So every 2 inches. So this will set up kind of the template. Now, I would suggest starting this in pencil so that, you know, if you make any mistakes, you can kind of change that and fix that. So I'm going to take a couple here that I see, and then I liked this one. I'm going to sketch them. Going to be as neat as possible. Okay, so I'm going to do a few here. And okay, so that's one. I also really kind of liked this one with the little curly cues. So I'm going to make a bunch of lines. I'm going to try to space them evenly. For you guys, it would help if you could measure. For the sake of time, I'm not going to. And all these are is a bunch of kind of curly cues. So you would fill up the space for those. I also liked, what was the other one? Oh, I liked this one a lot. So I'm going to put this guy And again, it doesn't need to be exactly like that one, but I kind of am taking what I think are parts of it and I'm kind of making my own. So you can, you know, copy it exactly from things that you find online if that's what makes you comfortable, or you can do your own thing. As long as it's neat, and patterns can be filled with lines and shapes, or both, okay? I also wanted to make a few of my own, so I am looking for neatness. So just make sure that if you do have a Zentangle with straight lines, that you end up using a ruler or a side of a book or something with a straight edge. And for the ones that are not, just look at the spacing and make sure that the spacing between different parts is what I call intentional. So you don't want it to look like you made a mistake. I kind of on my own do these different patterns. I guess it's kind of like my trademark. It's just, I guess, the way I've always kind of done these little doodles in my head. So, and then I will do, which other one should I pick? I'll pick this one over here. So this one sort of has these different circles. Some are dark. Okay. And then I can sort of make these squiggly lines in here. Okay, so here is my 6 Zentangles. Again, if you wanted to do more, you could do, you know, another 2-inch box or 2. And then when you're done in pencil, I want you to get either a Sharpie, a thick or a thin Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie, you know, feel free to use a black colored pencil would work fine. And you're gonna go in, and now you're going to go over it neatly, because again, this is practice for what you're going to be doing for your final one. So just make sure that you really try to stay inside the lines, and you're going to kind of go over all of the different Zentangle patterns that you had started. And parts of it will be black and parts will be white. So you'll have what we call positive and negative space. So let's say, for example, this one has some negative space in the background. What I can do is go in and color that in. So your background for your Zentangle, certain Zentangles can be white, it can be black, and we're going to be using, you know, positive and negative shapes. Just make sure that you fill everything in so it's super duper neat, because it does have to be neat to be a Zentangle. And what you will end up with is, now that was just my sample, you know, I did some more over here. So again, what I'd like to see is 6 Zentangles. They're 2 by 2 inch squares. Please use a ruler or a straight edge. I would like all 6 of them done either in black Sharpie or black colored pencil if you have. Good luck, have fun, and I look forward to seeing your designs.